In the year 1809, in a humble log cabin deep in the woods of Kentucky, a child was born who would one day hold the nation together in its darkest hour. His name was Abraham Lincoln. Lincoln's childhood was marked by hardship and struggle. He grew up poor, with little chance for formal education. Yet he had a mind that hungered for knowledge. By the dim light of a candle, he read borrowed books late into the night, shaping himself into a man of wisdom and principle. Lincoln's way of thinking was calm, logical, and deeply moral. He believed in justice, fairness, and the quiet power of patience. His words were never fancy, but always powerful, crafted to touch the conscience of ordinary men and women. As president, Lincoln faced the greatest internal crisis in American history, the Civil War. It was his steady hand that guided the nation through those years of blood and division. He issued the Emancipation Proclamation, striking a decisive blow against slavery. He preserved the Union when it seemed ready to fall apart. And with the Gettysburg Address, he reminded the nation what America truly stood for: freedom, democracy, and a government of the people, by the people, for the people. Lincoln led not with pride, but with humility and moral courage, believing that a true leader serves, rather than rules. More than a century later, in 1917, another leader entered the world, this time not in a log cabin, but in a wealthy family home in Massachusetts. His name was John Fitzgerald Kennedy. Kennedy's early years could not have been more different from Lincoln's. He had privilege, education, and comfort. Yet he, too, knew struggle. His body often betrayed him, plagued by illness and pain. But his spirit was unshaken. He pushed himself to achieve, graduating from Harvard. And later proving his bravery as a Navy officer in World War II, saving the lives of his crew in the Pacific. Kennedy's mind was youthful, visionary, and bold. He inspired people to dream bigger, to take responsibility, to believe that America's best days were still ahead. As president, he became a symbol of energy and hope. At just 43 years old, he was the youngest man ever elected to the office. He called the nation to a new frontier, to reach for the moon, to serve the world through the Peace Corps, and to stand firm against threats of war. During the Cuban Missile Crisis, he faced the terrifying possibility of nuclear conflict. With calm courage, he chose the path of peace, and the world was spared from disaster. He, too, stood for civil rights, speaking out for equality and justice in a nation still divided. His words, like Lincoln's, carried the power to stir hearts and ignite action. Kennedy's leadership was filled with charisma and optimism, but beneath it all was the same belief that guided Lincoln, that America could be a beacon of hope, not just for its own people, but for the world. Though they were born 100 years apart, one in poverty, the other in privilege, their lives seemed to mirror one another in uncanny ways. Both men believed deeply in equality. Both gave the nation unforgettable words of inspiration. Both faced bitter divisions in their time, Lincoln with slavery and civil war, Kennedy with civil rights and the Cold War. Both were struck down by an assassin's bullet while still serving their country. And both were followed by men named Johnson, Andrew Johnson after Lincoln, Lyndon Johnson after Kennedy. Most of all, both left behind a legacy greater than their years. They showed that true leadership is not measured in power or wealth, but in vision, courage, and the willingness to sacrifice for what is right. So the story of Abraham Lincoln and John F. Kennedy reminds us of something timeless, that destiny may choose different men in different centuries, but the qualities of true leadership, vision, integrity, and moral courage, never change.